Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I gotta think of something different between my segments now. It's like, oh, you stayed tuned in. Good for you. But I knew people would because you're so interesting, and we have something else to talk about. In addition to this, which I love, the creative celebration of life, which is your new business to help people celebrate the lives of their loved one, even though you are dealing with a great loss, no matter regardless of who, what, how, when, where, or why. But I do love the idea, and it's some Irish in me, about the Irish used to have the wakes.
Absolutely.
Well, now, and you also can tailor it to different religions, the
customs.
tradition. Yes,
Absolutely.
there's so many.
There's so much and so many ways to go, and we will do that all.
Yeah, that's interesting, and that takes a lot of creative skill. We'll talk about that in a minute because I do like different cultures, but we left off with talking about the loss of a pet. And you can also do pet, and we can't, celebrations. Let's use the word celebration instead of memorial from here on out.
Thank you.
And I think I have seen people get more destroyed by the loss of a pet than they seem to sometimes by the loss of a human loved one. There's something about our pets that just...
Absolutely. Our pets are so important, whether it's a cat, a dog, a horse.
A horse. Now, have you had a horse memorial yet? Or
We're ready. We've got a couple of ranches that we're working with because, in my mind, if someone is a horse person, they generally have other horse people around, and they may want to ride up with their horses for the celebration or bring their horses out on a trailer. We've got a great place in Sandy Valley as well, and a couple of ranches here. And we can do a celebration for horses, dogs, cats. We're working with veterinarians so that they can recommend. It's just makes your heart feel good when you can celebrate somebody that's been so special.
Oh, absolutely. I've been blessed with pets, and they've all lived good, long lives. And yet, it's just you never get over the loss of like a great dog or a cat. And I would imagine, I know my auntie who lives up in Northern California had a horse for 30 some years.
Right.
Adored that horse. That horse literally thought she was part of the family. She'd walk in the garage, get in the refrigerator, and when they had to put her down, eventually, it was just heartbreaking. But so you can celebrate the pet's life.
Absolutely.
As well.
Absolutely.
I could imagine it'd be like having a little dog party. You could have everybody bring their dogs.
Bring their dogs.
Cats are a little different.
Right, but dogs are very social. So we have various venues that will allow us to bring the dogs in, and we can do a whole theme if you've done themed parties for your dogs.
Like a poodle.
Right.
Poodles could have a really fun party.
Oh, yeah.
You could have a poodle skirt party going on. German Shepherds. I mean, there's all kinds of Pomeranians. We have friends that have Pomeranians.
Absolutely.
I like that you even included the pet thing in it.
It's
because
important.
It's very important. It's important to all of us. Now, back to the cultural aspect of it.
Right.
You would really have to delve into, how did you learn the different, on your website again, which I'm sure that it's been scrolling at the bottom of the screen, you've really delved into everything from African to down to Zimbabwe, whatever.
Right. Right. That's important, especially in Las Vegas. There's so many cultures and religions and different types of people, and that's what America's all about. And I thought it was important to reach out and find out a little bit about all of them, and through all of my creative partners, we could create anything you want, any of your beliefs, your colors, your traditions. We will add that to your celebration.
And there are different ways, of course, like some have masks. Right? Or some use urns or symbols or
right. Well, the Day of the Dead, the Mexican tradition, there's a lot of masks and very colorful symbols and whatnot, and they're celebrating that person going into the afterlife.
Right.
And
now, do you believe in the afterlife? I'm just curious.
I do.
Oh, good.
I do. I'm very spiritual, and I believe we all have souls that have moved on and
become part of something even greater, which is probably why you can do what you do. I mean, when you're dealing with these grief-stricken people, how do you get through that first moment? I mean, do you become emotionally involved sometimes?
Well, I try to bring them into my heart and see how I can comfort them, and very often I'll suggest pre-planning if you know someone is going to pass, because when it actually happens, you're never ready. You're
Never.
never ready.
Never.
So if I can come in and do a little consult with you and find out all the things that were important to them throughout their life, and and spend some time with you and see what's going to just make the situation, the event happen. They see a brighter side, and then it might take a little bit of that stress away when the time comes. Of, how do you deal? And very often I'll tell them, start journaling. Journaling always helps.
Right.
When you're going through that process and whatnot, and hopefully I can take away some of the pressure during that time.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
nice. There is a lot of pressure. Again,
Yes.
sometimes it does keep you busy.
Yeah.
Now, again, the company is, the business is 2 years old, but it took you a full year to get the website where you wanted it.
Right.
and
Well, it's
all
actually
the-
taken 2 years because I also will be working with funeral homes, and they wanted to have packages already put together. So we have pre-made packages and menus. If you go in and say, look, this is I can spend this amount of money, and what can I have for that? We can show you what you can do for that.
I'm surprised they're working with you because I hate to say it, but I've been there in that position. There's a fee for the viewing room. There's a fee if you want to do this at the funeral
Right,
homes. There's
and that's all included because they, everybody needs to get paid, of course.
Right.
But if there's things that the funeral home can't offer, then we'll get into that. And if you want to go into a really customized, and I guess I could compare it to a wedding or a bar mitzvah or some big event, we spend all kinds of money and time on planning those events, whereas your birth and your death are the two biggest moments of your life.
Oh, that's true. And there's
So-
something we all have to go through.
It's
and paying
always going to
taxes.
happen. Right.
So, do you offer live entertainment with these packages? So
Absolutely,
you were like
absolutely.
Blue Balls or whomever, or you
Right,
could
right.
have a rock
Well,
s-
I've got, when I come to you for a consult, I've got a full binder of various entertainment, and I'm so connected with the entertainment community
Right.
here. We have everything from bagpipe players and
I love the
harpists,
pipes.
right, and harpists and violinists and
Oh, I'd be having
jazz
like
trios.
I'd be having Tainted Love and all that stuff.
rock and roll. I mean,
Oh, that
whatever
would be-
you're.
You've already got me planning for mine. I'm
Well,
ready
there
to,
you go.
I'm not ready to go, but I want to have.
You want to know that it's going to be
that it's going to be a big
knowing
party.
you, it's going to be a
gonna
party.
be a real big party.
That's right.
really fun. And you're still, but you look at you with your glow and all your, you still have your glamour going on because you're performing again. You took a hiatus.
Crazy. 20 years off.
Okay, you broke my record when I became a mom and I stayed home for 16 years. 20 years
I
you were
got
off the circuit.
Off the stage, yeah.
Did you sing anyway just for fun or in the shower?
No. Fortunately, my business was booming.
Right.
And I was working so many hours and had so many employees, and Vegas was just booming with our corporate business.
Yes, that's true.
So there was no time. There was really no time. And then I did a fundraiser maybe 5 years ago, and I started developing a following.
Cool.
And I became, I always said, what are all those old women doing on stage? And all of a sudden I became one. It's like, when did that happen? It's like,
I
make
feel
fun
your
of people like
pain.
me.
I feel your pain.
But we
Yeah.
have a great time when I perform now. As a matter of fact, Paul Loudon, who
Yes.
owned the
They were
Sahara
my
back in the
neighbors
day.
once. Not kidding. Sue and Paul lived right
Oh.
across kitty corner to my
Darling
house.
people, darling
Too bad
people.
They moved.
He's a wonderful, wonderful keyboard player. He was my boss at the Hacienda.
Really?
Back in those
Oh,
days.
that's
So he
amazing.
plays keyboards with me quite a bit.
And what's
And-
your genre? You were talking. You did like the not jazz, but you like the
I'm
old
I'm more of a
crooners.
blues and
The blues.
Yeah,
I get a
blues
bluesy
girl.
vibe
Yeah,
from
yeah.
you, and your voice. I'm sure
Yeah,
it does a lot of credit to that.
oh yeah, a lot of time in the casinos.
Secondhand smoke.
Secondhand smoke and
a couple whiskeys here.
A
and
couple
there.
whiskeys.
Yeah, but it gives you that beautiful throaty and
Thank you.
velvety, I guess is what one
Oh,
could say.
thank
Plus, you have such charisma just on your own. And we just met, I just walked out and
did.
felt like I just wanted to hug you to death.
Oh, good.
Good energy, good vibes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh goodness, we're having way too much fun. Time is
We are.
flying again, and I still want to talk about where you're playing
Okay.
and how it feels to be back.
Okay.
And then I have a couple announcements about what's been going on in Vegas and what I've been tapping into. But quick
Sure.
shout out to the Red Roof Inn on Paradise Road across from the Hard Rock Hotel. Stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be right back.